You're on the internet right now. You use it every single day. But what if I told you the internet you know, all your Googling, your social media, your shopping sites, is barely scratching the surface of what's really out there? We're going to peel back the layers on this hidden world, and you'll see the reality is way more interesting than the Hollywood myths.
The best way to really get your head around this is to picture a giant iceberg. The part we see, the part sticking out of the water, that's the normal internet, the surface web. But underneath, hidden from view, is the rest of it. And we're talking a mind-blowing 96% of the entire internet that's completely invisible to a regular search engine.
So let's break that down real quick. Right below the surface, you've got the deep web. Now, this isn't as spooky as it sounds. This is just the stuff search engines can't see, because you need a password. Think about your email inbox, your online banking account, your medical files. You wouldn't want that on Google, right? And tucked away inside this deep web is a much smaller, much more secretive part, and that's the dark web. To even get in, you need some special key. So, the big question is, how does this corner of the web stay so hidden? Well, it all comes down to some really clever tech that was basically designed to make you a ghost online. Let's pull back that curtain. The secret sauce is a tool called Tor. And that name is actually perfect. It stands for the Onion Router. And just like an onion, the whole idea is layers. Tor works by wrapping your internet traffic up in multiple, heavy-duty layers of encryption. That's the magic right there. Okay, think of it like this. Imagine you put a secret message in a box, lock it, and give it to a random person. That person puts your locked box inside another locked box and passes it to someone else who does the same thing. By the time it gets where it's going, it's been through so many random hands, no one knows who sent it or where it's headed. That's exactly what Tor does with your data. It bounces it between random computers all over the world, peeling off one layer of encryption at a time. It makes tracing you back, well, pretty much impossible. But here's where things get really complicated. This incredible power of anonymity, it's a true double-edged sword. The very same technology that protects heroes can also shield villains. And that is the fundamental struggle at the heart of the dark web. On one side, Tor is an absolute lifeline. For journalists, for activists, for regular people living under oppressive governments, it's a way to speak freely and access information without being tracked or arrested. But that exact same shield of privacy also creates a perfect environment for a criminal underworld to thrive, a digital black market for just about anything illegal you can imagine. And this isn't just theory, it's happening right now. It might surprise you, but huge, legitimate organizations like the BBC, the New York Times, even Facebook, they all run their own special .onion sites. Why? So people in censored countries can reach them safely. And these sites exist in the same space as the infamous criminal markets, like the now-defunct Silk Road or Alphabet. It's a wild contrast. Now, because of all this shady stuff, the dark web has turned into this massive online boogeyman. And of course, that means there are some absolutely terrifying myths floating around. So let's play a little game of fact versus fiction. Okay, let's get right to the one you always hear about in movies. The idea that you can just log on, pay some Bitcoin, and anonymously order a hit on someone. I mean, it sounds terrifying, but is it real? Well, the reality is pretty much no. While sites advertising this stuff totally exist, they're almost universally considered to be nothing but scams to steal cryptocurrency from people. The key phrase here is publicly verified. To date, investigators have never found a single credible case of a successful murder being carried out by one of these supposed services. All right, let's tackle another horrifying legend, the Red Room. This is the stuff of nightmares. The idea is that there are these live video streams where people pay to watch someone get tortured and killed in real time, and the viewers can even type in commands to direct what happens. Just an awful, awful concept. But once again, just like the hitman sites, there has never been a single shred of verifiable proof that Red Rooms are real. Of course, there's a ton of disturbing content on the dark web, but this specific idea of interactive, live stream murder, it seems to be purely the stuff of horror stories and urban legends. So even if the most sensational myths are just that, myths, the actual criminal activity is still a huge problem. And this brings us to a really crucial point. Being anonymous doesn't mean you're invincible. Law enforcement has been forced to get very, very smart. And there is no better case study for this than the Silk Road. It was like the original Amazon, but for illegal drugs and services. The whole thing was run by a guy named Ross Ulbricht, who called himself the Dread Pirate Roberts.
He really thought he was untouchable behind the layers of Tor.
He was wrong. After a massive 2-year investigation, the FBI finally caught him. And you know how they did it? It wasn't by breaking Tor's encryption. It was good old-fashioned police work. They found a post he'd made years earlier on a totally different forum promoting the site using his real name. A simple mistake. They tracked him to a public library in San Francisco and arrested him with his laptop wide open, logged into the Silk Road's master controls. He's now serving life without parole.
And this wasn't just a lucky break. After the Silk Road, authorities have taken down a whole string of major marketplaces. Huge international operations took out its biggest successors, Alphabet and Hansa, just a few years later. It goes to show that while the dark web offers a powerful shield, it is definitely not bulletproof.
And all of this, it brings us right back to this fundamental problem, this deep conflict at the very core of the dark web. It's a battle between two ideas we all value, a right to privacy and our need for safety and protection. This quote really just says it all, doesn't it? The same tool that's life-saving for a political activist is also what allows a criminal to operate freely. And it feels like you can't have one without the other. How do we balance those two things?
So that's the really big, thorny question I want to leave you with. Is that promise of total privacy, of true internet freedom, so important that we have to accept the dark shadows that come with it? Or is the crime that flourishes in those shadows just too high a price to pay? There's really no easy answer.